All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, Episode 5. We going to NASA.
Going to NASA. Going to the US of A.
That's right.
The big red, white, and blue.
Not quite to, work at NASA yet. But
no, but Houston, we're going to make contact.
That's right.
Brothers seeing each other again after quite a while.
I'm really excited because, dude, Space Brothers, but, the brothers were kind of... off in their separate locations. So I'm excited to see these two interact. And
I'm excited to see, would that interact with maybe some other astronauts too. Mm-hmm. Just the idea of being like, bro, you're trying to become an astronaut?
Oh, hell yeah.
Give it your best,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the culture shock moment of the American loud kind of boisterous kind of chaotic energy versus Muta being like sumimasen,
You headbutted your superior when he insulted your brother?
Fuck yeah! Get in here! yeah. But seriously, how are you not fired? It's like, I was
totally fired.
And they'd be like, I thought you did that at JAXA. Okay, never mind. That's kind of cool though, yeah.
Yeah. They could just have situations where it's like, oh no, yeah, Muta, me and the guys are gonna be drinking after work or something. Right. You can just hang out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That'll be awesome. But all right, y'all, let's get into this.
Texas, Houston.
Yep.
15時間
He's ready.
He stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah. Jet lag. It's rough.
No one else has a hat.
すみません。出口どこですか？
私がアメリカに着いたその頃、日々は出かけようとしており。
No way. Wait. Did he miss him?
運命が動き出そうとしていた。
Oh shit. His application is at the top of a list.
二次試験に落ちたかもしれないこのような状態で日々に会うのは気が進まなかった。
Sure.
だが、NASA からの招待という迷惑に打ち勝つことはできなかった。
Oh, that's a realistic face right there. All right. I was gonna say, did that truck have an exhaust pipe on the top of the...
Stone Sun Park.
Days of missing, okay.
ここで間違いないな。
Oh, Doug!
The pug!
The puppers!
一文字違ったらアホか。かわいそうに。
Just following him.
とマシな名前があったのに、アポって。なんだよ。何も持ってねえぞ。
You smell familiar.
Incredible.
Ah! We're about to go into ludicrous mode. Oh no! Wow.
Yeah.
Still has energy for days.
It's training you.
I love that it's got the drowning breathing sound.
Right. Yeah.
お前の犬かよ。そのアポは。
Hey, cool.
Yes.
Yes. Boys, only you could think of a stupid name like that. Oh, classified. I shouldn't look at it. Yeah.
土産。俺はいらねえって言ったんだけどさ、母ちゃんが持ってけってうるせえから。見ろよ。チンして食べる肉。
Aww.
Food from home.
Like some nostalgic stuff.
に自分がいらねえもんくれたってわけだ。まさかとは思ったが やっぱりアポロから
Ah.
あいことをめんどくさがる癖がある。
そうか
だよ。例えばカーテンのフックが1個外れっぱなしになってる。電球1個切れっぱなし。ポスター剥がれかけ。
The OCD is so real.
Uh-huh.
部屋の中に植物でも置きたいな。でも水やりめんどくさいな。と迷った結果、このサボテン。値札を剥がすのも途中で諦めてる。
He's like, yep, this is my brother, all right.
細けえな相
Yeah, yeah. Just like kind of an asshole about it.
Yeah.
最高じゃねえか。
It's huge.
この庭。
Yeah.
おうなんだっけそれ
Looking at the stars.
夏休みにさ
Hmm.
チャリで京都のばあちゃん家まで行ったろ一緒に何日かかったっけ3日4日
3日だよ。
ああそうだそうだ京都まではチャリで3日かかった
Dang.
Wow.
でも難波飛行士のお兄ちゃんって呼ばれる。
あれもしかしてナンバー日々と飛行士のご親戚か何かですか？
噂になってますよ。あの難波日々と飛行士のお兄さんだって。
ねえ難波くん今度日々とくんにサイン頼んどいてもらえないかな。
誰も俺のこと難波ムッタとは呼んでくれないんだぞ。
あのさ今と昔で違うもんがあるとすりゃそれはむっちゃんが昔みたいに張り合わなくなったってことだ。もっと張り合えよ。
Yeah.
つまんねえよ。
Yeah. Food will be waiting for you when you're ready to, you know, stop sulking.
俺のことずっとつまんねえって思ってたんならもっと早く言ってくれよ。
Oh. All right.
Okay.
ペケだペケ。あこれもペケ。ここアットが足りない。アットどむる。ここもナイフの最初に K が足りない。 K なんで K？ 読まないけどいるんだよ。何それ。剣を待っているが正解だろ。マイクが剣を侍っている。切るのかマイクが剣を。シャロンおばちゃんに英語教わってるんだからちゃんとやろうぜ。こんな点数じゃ泣くぞ。
Yeah. Don't disappoint her, right?
Okay.
That sense of like, yeah, yeah.
It's actually just that it got more serious.
宇宙センターに行ってくる。朝食食ったら来いよ。朝食は
そうわざわざ英語で書きやがって食べしてんのか俺を。しかもジョンソンの H が
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what? This extra animation just
Yeah.
for the fun little differences. That's great.
が行くかよ。
Reading the
もっと
newspaper
張り合え
English
よ。
though, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
つまんねえよ。
Now, did he say your breakfast is toast, or did he just make himself toast because he didn't want to have the breakfast made for him?
I think he was saying your breakfast is probably in the refrigerator or something, you know.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
アポ
君もしかして君ムッタか。そうだろう。
そうよムッタよムッタ。
Oh,
Talks about you a lot.
yeah. Now the question is, are they gonna have everyone here speak Japanese?
いつもスミスさん夫妻がアポの散歩。
僕たちだけじゃないよ。日々とんちの両隣も犬を飼っとる。
み
Ah.
んなで交代でやってるのよ。
Cool.
日々とが訓練の日はね。
なんだかすみません。弟が皆さんに迷惑。
No, they're happy to do it.
Yep.
やってるんだよ。
そうなんですか。
ああ。日々とは迷惑どころか我々年寄りに元気をくれるぞ。
Nice.
宇宙の話や
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these people aren't calling you Hibito's brother.
ちゃんと正しく伝わってるかどうか。
See, he keeps putting himself down. Like,
ジャストフィットする言葉は
サムライボーイ
ha!
むっちゃんまだ来てねえの？
ええ、まだ。
何やってんだよ。まさか
Bruh.
メモが読めなかったとかってなわけねえよな。
My English is perfect.
オッケーリヒビト。どうだ晩飯作っといてやったぞ。名付けて賞味期限ギリギリ。
Ugh.
はっきり言って料理の腕は俺の方が。
See, I'm being a rival, yes.
山手線の全駅名も俺の方が早く言える。あと J リーグの選手名鑑2025年度版はすでに。
But Space Bro.
さっきから何言ってんの？
何言って張り合ってんだよ。ゆうべお前が。
そういうことじゃねえだろ。
Right, right.
口で張り合ってどうすんだよ。
Uh-huh.
むっちゃん、
Yep.
明
Where
日
were
は
you?
見学来いよ。
Yeah. This little bitch.
Just dying on his tummy.
分かってたけどあれじゃ小4だ。小4の俺で挑んでどうする。
Wow. I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah.
You gonna cry? Yeah. Let it all out. Yeah, he can feel the pain that you're in. Oh.
では日々とみたいに抜けているやつのことをそう言うんです。
They're like, huh.
なるほど、何か足りないんだね。
そうなんです。
He's missing his brother.
Yeah.
誰だって何か足りないもんだよ。ムッタ、僕らは君に初めて会った気がしない。
あなたのことは日々から聞いてただけなのにね。
いつだったか彼に質問。
Here we go. Yeah.
今何をしてるんだいって。そしたらこう答えた。むっちゃんは今頃日本で宇宙飛行士になる準備を。
Wow.
聞いたけど答えはいつも同じだった。ムッタは準備中。ムッタは準備中。
He's getting ready.
君が来ると思っていた日々にとって自分だけが進んでいる毎日は足りない日々だったんじゃないのかな。
Uh-huh.
弟の先を行ってなければならない。兄とは。
Look how far up we are.
ほら見ろよ。カツカツ。
Whoa.
Quite the sight. There we go.
Classic.
That's a brother.
Oh. The soundtrack is really elevating
Yeah.
this episode in a really special way.
今日行かなかったのは寝癖がひどかったからだ。明日は俺も NASA へ行く。し
Ah.
かもお前より早起きしてな。
There we go.
さて難波ムッタ君と沢木学君
Oh.
どちらか一人を落とすというのであれば私は迷いなく難波君を落とします。
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Dato.
Okay.
They're back together.
Yep.
And things were a little bit rough around the edges when
Yeah.
they first met. And that felt really good. That felt really realistic.
Yes.
There was a lot of kind of strife for no reason because Muta is coming in with this little bit of a kind
Those
of
insecurities
ego
and-
hurt chip on his shoulder
Right.
kind of thing. And Hibito's like, oh my God, fucking
Okay.
guy. Just, yes, be anal about it. Cool. who the fuck cares?
Right.
And then it's the, oh, you actually kind of figured out your own problem, Muta, because you talk to those lovely older people who are like, oh my gosh, Muta.
You're Muta. And I love that
he glossed over completely their whole acknowledging him as finally
exactly.
not like, you're Hibito's older brother. When they literally could have done that.
That would have made absolute sense. Right.
And instead they're like, no. We feel like we already know you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That warmed my heart so much.
It's so warm.
Like
yes.
that was awesome.
Oh.
And I love the way that they had it be a thing of him saying that Hibito that Hibito would say that Muta is preparing to be an astronaut.
Right.
Because it's both from the standpoint of, he's out there working hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one way that it could mean, and it's he's choosing to believe in you, and you're still his rival,
right.
Even though you're not here right now and all that stuff. But it could also be
you haven't, started actually preparing to be an astronaut.
Right.
Yet.
But it could also be he's getting to the point where he'll be able to be an astronaut.
Well, specifically,
right? Like
he's been excitedly telling them more recently, like, he's working hard to be an astronaut.
That too, right, because he has been doing that recently, yeah.
So there would be this thing of, like, he's preparing, and then there was probably more excitement in his voice when he was saying it more recently, because he's like, he's close,
right.
like...
Yeah.
And this is, I love extrapolated, but still...
Because the belief in someone, right, it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it feels totally natural, right?
Oh, sure.
Like, or it looks totally natural and obvious, and of course, right? And other times it doesn't seem as obvious, right?
Sure.
The people at JAXA, they're like, hands down at this point, cut Muta, right? Like, no contest.
Right, and that's just the first guy saying this, but realistically still, it's
probably
what most people are going to say, too.
The fact that he even got this far is fantastic.
Yeah, and that means, good, you did wonderful, but you need to shore up this stuff for next year.
Right.
Yeah.
But the choosing to believe in someone despite the evidence, that's really precious. And,
it is.
And I love that it's done in this way, both with the standpoint of the older brother, but then also the wanting to have that rival, the person you can be competitive with, that can, spur you on and all that stuff. Even when they're clearly not being that, right? Like, I don't know, that means a lot to me, because I feel like we all have the different times where we're Muta in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
And so to have somebody that is a Hibito, and that's precious, and yet a lot of the times we don't realize it. We don't know, like, Muta did not know that Hibito was talking to this old couple and constantly telling them, well, Muta's preparing to be an astronaut, right?
Right.
He had fully given up and wasn't thinking about it, really.
Sure.
But, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see how their interactions go moving forward, because I feel like that so wonderfully encapsulated the now, right? We had the dreams, them as kids, all that stuff. But now, like, what amount of that survives into adulthood from the interaction between the two of them, not just Hibito managed to become an astronaut, so of course that part of it is alive in him to some degree, and Muta didn't, so that's, not really there right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that felt really good.
Yeah. The idea that, also bro's coming in and immediately starts putting his brother down, and then talks to the friends of his and being like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry for the burden he's put on you, which felt very Japanese kind of in the moment there.
Apologizing and all that.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we love it. And then he's like, oh, well, you know how he is. He needs help from people like us, it's the, he's, he's missing something. We have a thing for people like him. And they're like, huh? What? Oh, then that's like me too. I'm like that. Yeah, I'm like that.
Oh, he's missing something. It's like, yep.
Because I think what could be kind of fun here, and I think this also might be just it's kind of a tough thing to get at here, is I don't know whether they're speaking Japanese with him or they're speaking English and he's speaking English because we're in the U.S. and stuff.
Oh,
and
sure.
Stereotypically, people in the U.S. are not,
not bilingual. Yeah.
Specifically not with Japanese also.
Well, and that could also be maybe an explanation for why there's some of that like disconnecting the conversation.
And that's what I think it is that he's speaking in English. Muta is speaking in English to them.
Right.
And they're like, missing something? And so they are trying to think of it like, well, it must be a positive because he would never speak negative about Hibito. Hibito's so cool. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, everybody's missing something. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily the case, and maybe I'm reading too deep into this, but just the idea that they then go and identify themselves with Hibito, but make the point of, yeah, everybody's missing something. And that's kind of the part of it is that, oh, if you have someone that's been kind of with you alongside you all this time and encouraging you and you know, trying to get you to leap forward and stuff, and then you finally do, and they start to potentially resent you for it, that's gotta hurt. So in some ways, Hibito's wanting back that other brother, you know, that other one there. And so this is really special to have the connection so plainly spelled out for Muta that it's and each of those days that you weren't here, he's been missing you.
Right.
That's the thing that he's been missing.
Him saying, hey, come over to NASA and stay, you know, live with me and all that stuff. Was he giving you a leg up? Absolutely. But it's also something that he has he wants you here for himself as well.
Right.
Right? Like
he wants to give you something that'll help, but
yeah.
This is something that really benefits him a lot.
Yep.
So, yeah.
In a way that maybe you won't be able to understand right away or acknowledge because you're so fixed on the idea that he's the one that has everything and you have nothing.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's a really kind of emotionally complex episode in that regard. Exploring it in a very, straightforward way, which was cool. There was a good, I would say, almost rule of 3 with repetition and stuff like that to make sure we got the point from multiple angles here.
Which I think is especially important given that this is kind of setting up a new arc/dynamic of now they're living together. What truly is the modern brother dynamic? And, all right.
I'm actually curious if this story even follows an arc-based format, because I don't think it does. I think arc-based formats are kind of lazy ultimately sometimes, and when you're doing a story that kind of feels more like it could be just a book, you know? This is more just hey, we're still in the testing arc, if you will. This is just the part of the story where he goes to the U.S. and has a really good opportunity to kind of reset himself out of that inferiority complex that he's kind of gotten a little bit. And so that when he comes back maybe to JAXA, he's got that, people are not just calling me, Hibito's brother. I do have a lot of reasons to be here because I did work and compete my ass off to get actually through to this level of the tests here. Which is, it's damn impressive in a way that we've almost called it lucky, but and it's also impressive,
Right, and that's where it makes sense for there to be those things where, the things that he's, pointing out about his brother with, the curtain, doesn't have the thing there and all that stuff, right?
He was pretty shit at English.
And he's still shit at English, They're not necessarily incorrect, right? It's just that the perspective that you end up taking as a result of these little details is heavily biased.
Right. And you could even say, Muta, you might be kind of missing the grander point that's to be made here. You realize you're kind of making light of the fact that Hibito, yes, is still like that.
And he's an astronaut.
And you're
not.
Which means, no. That you might just win this. You might get to become an astronaut and still have all your flaws, too.
Oh, sure. I like it.
The idea that, your brother got in. And he's amazing at being an astronaut.
Yeah, that very much...
what do you know? So you're telling me that, maybe everybody's missing something?
Yeah,
which means
there's no point where you have everything figured out.
Yeah, which means you could be an astronaut and still have your little anal about all these things, and you don't really have all your
inferiority complex to an extent.
Maybe some problems with authority, and it's you still could get in.
Thanks for
just
pointing
throwing that out there,
Yeah, that does very much feel like the whole thing of, you become an adult and you're you're expecting that everybody else has everything figured out and that you need to have everything figured out.
Right,
and
right.
so you're like, oh my God, I'm terrible. Why am I not able to do this? It's like, no.
No.
It's all chaos. Like,
right. I realized that at one point when I went to kind of a more professional desk work environment for the first time. And everyone there was 15 years older than me. Like everybody, right?
Yeah.
And there's one person there that's my age. Oldest person there in the call was like 50, like 9, like 60 kind of age range and stuff. And I was realizing that, like, you know, I can do all the typical, like, video call etiquette stuff much better and things like that. Yeah. And I can handle all my tech stuff just fine. But then there was also, like, the other things of where it was like, wait, these people are just, you know, some of them are just also immature. Like, they're just kind of doing little dumb, like, high school level petty stuff.
Sure.
And I'm like, wait, am I not in, like, a adult corporate work environment here?
What's going on?
Why is that?
Yeah.
And then I talked to somebody and they're like, yeah, there's just some stuff there. I'm like, you guys don't just like talk about it and get it resolved or something? And it's like, well, it's, you know, it's
right.
its
There's
own thing.
There's a lot of dysfunction that can come from that.
Right.
And at the same time,
they can have a great work environment still.
Well, right. There can be that sense of security in that, like, you know, in a lot of ways, your insecurities about things in and of themselves can be a hindrance.
Sure.
Because, you know, other people have their issues too.
Right.
But they don't let themselves get hung up on insecurities about their issues.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
You know?
Yeah.
And so if you get over your insecurities, that can solve a whole lot of problems.
Problems that could be coming indirectly from your issues. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just the whole thing of like, I live in a world where if I see things that are out of place and imperfect, then it frustrates me.
Right.
But, I couldn't look at myself and go like, self-improvement, self-development?
Right.
That ain't me, Chief.
Even to the point where when he leaves the letter, right? And I love that Hibito didn't even ask him, why didn't you come today, right? He just said, hey, come tomorrow, right? He leaves the letter and he's like, yeah, so I had really bad bedhead yesterday, right?
Right.
Which, granted, it's
bullshit.
It's bullshit, but, you know, Hibito knows it's bullshit. There's full communication happening there. But that's still a level of refusing to acknowledge the bullshit on yourself, right? Because even though Hibito can accept it, and you can accept it enough that you're willing to communicate about it in this way too, Hibito, why don't you just accept it yourself, dude? That sounds like way less stress.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
also, I was going to be that guy just to make the point.
Check for, like, grammar errors?
Check for some errors potentially in his English because he was so anal about it. The only thing I can lightly see is that he said was that I had a terrible bedhead. Which is not technically the way people say it.
I had terrible bedhead.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, it can work that way as well. So, you know, maybe there's little things like that, you know, aren't that big of a deal. Here's a great example of this.
Okay.
Here's a great example of this. I have people that I know that constantly use words wrong.
Of course I know him.
It's me. Yeah. That's why I said people in the plural. I know lots of people like this. But the thing is that I also use words incorrectly.
Yeah. It's fun.
Well, it's fun, totally. But it's the thing of where part of my thing about me that's anal, I would say, is that I really notice at irregular times, not consistently, when a word is being used like completely wrong. Like completely wrong. And the thing is that my brain kind of works overtime to make sure I'm understanding what people are saying and why people are saying it and stuff. That's my dysfunction, I would say.
Okay.
So I waste a lot of energy on a thing that doesn't necessarily matter as much because I could just ask a clarifying question and then I don't need to spend all that brain power. But let me talk here. But the idea that then, I hear what they're saying and I go, that does not make sense if I just take them literally. But if I take also 1 or 2 seconds to go, what they meant clearly was this. Like, this is a homonym or a word that, like, is close enough to be a homonym for something else.
It's the
like,
glass onion thing of the...
It is exactly the glass onion thing. There are people bless them, that use the word like.
Right.
I could feel
I can't remember what the exact ones that were used in Glass Onion, but that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying. But I think there's a lot of people that will like see those kinds of things and go, oh, I have to correct them. And it's just like, bro, learn from Muta. You can
learn from Muta?
Yeah. Learn from what Muta learned here.
Right, okay, exactly.
And that you don't have to spend all that energy doing that.
Nope.
People are going to have their dysfunction and get into NASA. Not because NASA is such a horrible place filled with dysfunction, which I don't know, it might be, I don't know. But,
I'm sure it is. I mean, the nuclear launch codes were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the longest time. So,
Jacob, if you don't have the keys to get into it, it doesn't matter what the codes are.
Still.
Also, NASA and nuclear launch codes have nothing to do with each other.
But high stakes.
Why are you derailing my point here?
No, that supports your point.
I can't. No, I'm trying to get the point of people learn from Muta in that if there's going to be times where you see something that's slightly off or what have you, like it's not some
it's not the end of the world
onus thing that you have to fix it or what have you.
So the one that I see a lot more like regularly is there are a lot of books that get published that aspiring writers might look at and be like, what the fuck? And like,
how did this
get published? And it's like, well, just fine.
Yeah, and it's just a shift in perspective to go, oh shit, this got published?
Oh
shit, okay. I can do that.
Relax.
Not just the ego thing of like, oh, I could do that, but more
right,
like
but just the
okay.
There's
so
hope write
out
that
there.
book, or
Yeah,
you could do it too.
It's the shift in perspective of Muta.
Right.
Yeah, Hibito made it into NASA.
But
his grades did go up. That is part of it.
Yeah.
But also, he still misspells the Johnson Space Center,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Patterns do be patterns.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all perfectly imperfect.
Some of us more than others.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the doobly-doos all around here. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. You can watch early access stuff there with our Patreon. Any level support there gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.